Hello and welcome, and thank you for taking time to view this video. One of our deepest beliefs is that parents are valuable partners who must be involved in their child's education in school. Hello, my name is Dr. Craig Ross, and I am the Director of Learning and Operations for Pike Road Schools. At Pike Road Schools, our focus is on true, authentic learning. This quote from Leaders of Their Own Learning captures our belief about assessment. We simply can't know what a traditional grade means because it doesn't provide enough information about what the students are actually learning or what they need to know to improve. We believe grades truly serve the purpose of communicating progress of learning. Traditionally, however, grades have been associated with motivation and punishment. We believe that your children are worth more and are capable of so much more than that. We believe that parents deserve to have a very clear understanding of what their child is learning. This empowers you as a parent to be able to better support your learner. Our goal is to give you a better picture of what your child is learning. These are some of the terms that you'll hear us say often. A standard is the course of study. State standards, which you've often heard of, is what every grade level has to cover, as well as every subject level in a secondary classroom. A learning target is taking these sometimes very wordy standards and breaking them down into learning targets so that they're in terms that are very friendly for students, so that students can very clearly understand what the standard means, as well as parents. We will still be a standards-based school and use the Alabama State Standards to assess, but are making a change in software so that we can better communicate with students' progress and parents, and to have it more manageable for our lead learners. We're exploring 4 different software providers, and will select one that best fits our needs and meets the requests many of the parents and teachers have made. This is an example of one of the companies that we are considering. They will provide report cards similar to this one that can be customized for Pike Road Schools. And as you look at this, you'll see all the different standards are listed, and those actually aren't the standards, they're the learning targets that have been broken down. So they are the Alabama standards that have been broken down into learning targets so that they're very easy to understand, such as I can plot points on a graph, I can use a graphing calculator, I can write equations to model situations. These could all be traced right back to the Alabama standards that are in the course of study. You can see the green bars, red bars, and the other different color green there that shows where each learner is at in terms of mastering that particular standard. So that's where the standards-based report card comes in, is you still will see those learning targets and those standards. And each one of those will get that numerical grade that you see on the side, such as the very first one where it talks about I can distinguish between independent and dependent variables. As a parent, you can read that and know that that's something that your child is working on in algebra. You can see that they've got a 3.9, which clearly on a 4.0 scale, which shows that they have mastered that standard. They're doing great. But at the same time, you can also notice that on this particular screenshot, that algebra currently at the very top has a 3.1, and it will also have a letter grade of a B beside that 3.1. So a parent can very easily look in their parent portal and see that your child's got a B in algebra. Same thing with looking a little bit further down the screen at English 9, they can clearly see that they've got a 2.8, which is a C+, but you could also see that they're almost to that 3.0, which would be a B. And so this is an example of what your child's report card could look like. We're exploring different companies, and we'll choose the one that best fits our needs. We are breaking the standards into smaller chunks so that you and the children, our learners, can understand the learning task and the skill that we are trying to master. For example, I understand the difference between mitosis and meiosis. I can count by 1,000 by fives. Hence, their focus will be on the learning and not just on the task. Our lead learners in the lower grade levels will help us determine what is appropriate for their learners. However, you will see consistency throughout Pike Road Schools on how we assess and report students' mastery of the standards. As always, thank you for your input and for partnering with us to make Pike Road Schools a great place for learning every day for every child.